You can assemble the deadliest attack on the planet. Stack your lines with elite snipers and light up the scoreboard with 3 or 4 goals a night. Habs Nation. But the guy between the pipes, strapped in pads, can't stop a beach ball. Your entire team is just a mirage waiting to be exposed in the playoffs. That's the brutal drama tearing through the walls of the Montreal Canadiens front office right now. We're sitting third in the East. Our offense is a machine, shredding opponents on a nightly basis. But our net? It's a sieve. Sam Montembeault doesn't inspire confidence in his own shadow, let alone a fan base hungry for a deep run. And panic has a general manager, Kent Hughes, like a slap shot to the chest. The bombshell validated by analyst Corey Proman of The Athletic is nothing short of staggering. The Canadiens are crafting a massive package to steal the controversial Jordan Binnington from the St. Louis Blues, an emergency trade that might be the riskiest gamble of the decade. Today, we're going to dissect the anatomy of this kamikaze bet. We'll break down how the swift justice of hockey exposed the negligence in our goaltending department, why Binnington seems to have 2 completely different personalities on the ice, and what it means to mortgage our draft future just to patch up the defense midseason. But before I flash this goaltender's schizophrenic stats on your screen, I'm handing you Kent Hughes' pen. You're deciding Montreal's future right now. Do you have the guts to ship out a first-round pick and a second-round pick just to offload Brendan Gallagher's toxic contract and embrace a veteran goalie who's at the bottom of the NHL barrel, betting that the magic he showed at the Olympics will save our Stanley Cup run? Or do you think it's criminal to throw our draft capital in the trash for a player who's emotionally unstable? Think with ice in your veins, because the March 6th deadline doesn't forgive hesitation. Let's take a hard look at the tactical crime scene. Jordan Binnington in the NHL this season has been a tragedy. He's dropped 7 straight games. His save percentage is a pitiful .864, one of the worst among starting goalies in the league. He's been a liability for a St. Louis Blues team that's already drowning in the standings. So, why on earth would Montreal want him? Because last week at the Olympics in Italy, something unreal happened. Binnington pulled on the Team Canada jersey, and it's like an alien spirit possessed him. He carried the squad to a silver medal with a jaw-dropping 1.78 goals against average. He proved that when the spotlight is blinding, when the stakes are sky-high, he can still transform into a monster between the pipes. And this is where the swift justice of hockey storms into the Bell Center. The Canadiens front office poured every ounce of budget and talent into the forward group. They neglected the crease, assuming Montembeault would figure out. The karma for that structural arrogance? Our weakness is now public knowledge. Everyone in the league can see it. And because Montreal is pressed against a salary cap ceiling, fitting Binnington's $6 million cap hit means we have to shove a bad contract like Brendan Gallagher's into the deal. St. Louis, not exactly a charity organization, has looked at Montreal's desperation and delivered their verdict. We'll take Gallagher off your hands, but you're paying the urgency tax. The ultimate punishment for letting this hole in our net grow at the worst possible time is having to put a first-round pick and a second-round pick on the table. We're burning our future to pay the price for our own planning failures. Let's dig into why Binnington is even a consideration, despite his brutal NHL numbers this year. At his peak, this guy is a proven winner. He backstopped the Blues to a Stanley Cup in 2019, posting clutch performances when it mattered most. He's got a career .907 save percentage over nearly 400 games, hardly the mark of a perennial bust. His Olympic showing wasn't fluke. It was a reminder that under the right pressure, with the right motivation, Binnington can flip a switch and become a wall. For a Canadiens team that's built to score, but can't stop a puck, that potential, even if it's a long shot, feels like a lifeline. But the risks are glaring, and they start with his headspace. Binnington is infamous for his emotional volatility. He's the kind of goalie who can stonewall a team for 60 minutes one night and implode with a temper tantrum the next. He's thrown water bottles at opponents, chirped recklessly, and let bad goals spiral into full-on meltdowns. His .864 save percentage this season isn't just bad luck. It's a reflection of a player who's lost confidence in a toxic St. Louis environment. If he brings that baggage to Montreal, where the media and fan pressure are 10 times heavier, can he handle it? Or does he crack under the weight of the Bell Center's expectations? Then there's the cost and assets. A first and a second round pick isn't chump change. That's real draft capital, the kind you use to build a sustainable contender. Trading those away for a 32-year-old goalie on a $6 million deal through 2027, especially one having a career-worst year, is a gamble that could haunt us if Binnington doesn't turn around. If he flops, we not only lost picks, but also tied up cap space that could have been used on a younger, more reliable option down the line. And let's talk about the cap math. Offloading Gallagher's $6.5 million contract through 2027 sounds like a win, but it's not free. St. Louis isn't taking on that albatross without serious compensation, hence the draft picks. Plus, Binnington's $6 million isn't exactly a bargain if he's not performing. If Hughes can't make additional moves to free up space, we're still tight against the cap, limiting flexibility for other deadline acquisitions or future extensions for players like Slavkovsky or Demidov. There's also the question of fit in Martin St. Louis' system. Binnington isn't a modern, puck-playing goalie who can act as a third defenseman. His style is more traditional. Stay in the crease, make the save, and let the skaters handle the rest. If St. Louis wants a netminder who can jumpstart breakouts with sharp passing, Binnington might not be the answer. Can the coaching staff adapt the system to his strengths, or will this be another square peg in a round hole? But here's the counter-argument. When you're third in the East with a lethal attack, you don't have the luxury of waiting for the perfect goalie to fall into your lap. Montembeault's inconsistency is a glaring weakness that could tank a playoff run against a team with even average finishing. Binnington, for all his flaws, has shown he can steal games when it counts. If he recaptures even 80% of his Olympic form, or his 2019 Cup-winning swagger, he could be the difference between a first-round exit and a deep push. And with Gallagher's contract gone, you've at least cleared some long-term dead weight, even if it costs you draft picks now. This is a kind of all-or-nothing bet that defines a GM's legacy. It's not just about Binnington's glove hand. It's about whether Hughes believes this team is one save away from being a true contender, or whether he's willing to risk everything on a reclamation project with a volatile track record. So I'm setting up the extortion table and dropping this deal right in your lap. Approve or veto, given that our attack is ready to win a Stanley Cup today. Do you hit the green button, accept this king's ransom price for Binnington, and go all in for a miracle run? Or do you lock the vault, hold on to draft picks, and try to survive the playoffs with the goalies we've got? Even if it means getting exposed in net, lay it all out in the comments. Don't hold back. Spell out why you'd pay the price or why you'd walk away. Canada doesn't forgive mediocrity on the ice, and the Bell Center is watching every move. And don't you dare blink. While we're plotting this miracle in net, a silent nuclear crisis just erupted in the Western Division of Major League Baseball overnight. The Seattle Mariners have dropped a bizarre ultimatum on the negotiation table for their top rotation star after a contract dispute. The identity of this ace who could be on the move? I'll blow that wide open in the next video. Stay locked in.